This is an important partnership, as I say, it's bringing the eye sector and the diabetes sector together to combine our efforts. So the advocacy journey for KeepSight commenced really back in 2013 when Diabetes Australia launched an election platform at the time and said we need a national diabetes strategy. One of the key elements of that call back in 2013 that led to the current national diabetes strategy was we need national complications prevention screening programs. And the national diabetes strategy recognises that might be individual complication screening or multiple complication screening, but that's what we need. In 2014, we teamed up with the eye sector through Vision 2020 Australia, and Professor Peter van Wijngaarden is here today, who you'll hear from, and others, and put together a joint advocacy document we call it the National Diabetes Blindness Prevention Program, and we started advocating for such a national complication screening. As I said, the National Diabetes Strategy was then released in 2015. In 2017, we still hadn't got there, but we continued to advocate, we then moved on a little bit more, and one of the key triggers for that was broadening the alliance of interest, and in particular two key bits. One was that Specsavers came on board as a corporate partner and offered $1 million a year and challenged the federal government to match that. Said, well, let's have a public-private partnership and match this funding. And the other thing was that we became increasingly aware that we had another, in addition to the NDSS database as a great asset in a program like this, we had another great asset, which was a system called Oculo and a sharing of information across the eye sector that had been built over a number of years. And so it was really about realising that we had this enormous opportunity to link these existing platforms in a powerful way. And that captured ministerial attention, and then last year, fortunately, the government announced through Minister Hunt initial funding of $1 million to match the Specsavers $1 million. And then earlier this year, just in fact a few weeks ago in National Diabetes Week, we had confirmation of further funding of another $1.5 million for year 2, and we have a commitment from Minister Hunt and the government that they'll look to a sustainable funding for this program, because importantly, this is not a project that's going to just be done and dusted. It's an ongoing complications prevention screening initiative, and it needs to go for the next 20 years and we'll see powerful outcomes. And, the great thing about this has been just how united our views have been with Vision 2020 Australia, with Optometry Australia, as a part of Vision 20, well, not a part, but a key player, the Royal Australian College of Ophthalmologists, and lots of others, and other corporate partners now wanting to be part of this. So I think we've, built an enormous common interest here with lots of people who want to be part of it. So our key objective is to activate, through marketing and messaging, 630,000 people with diabetes to better understand their risk. They're the people who aren't getting their eyes checked. The problem is we don't know who those people are at the moment. We know that about over 600,000 people are either not having eye checks, diabetes eye checks at all, or they're not having them as frequently as required. But we don't know who those people are. So through this program we will find out, and we will build a system that enables us to be able to report against that over time. This, of course, is what the growing background looks like, that the registration to the National Diabetes Services Scheme continues to grow, and as I said before, we've hit the 1.3 million mark, and the run rate over the past few years has been well over 100,000 people per year, over 105,000 in the last 12 months. This just gives you a sense of what consumers say about reminders from Diabetes Australia, and this is important because what we're going to do here is issue reminders to regularly in different ways to people with diabetes around their risk. But a key thing here is Diabetes Australia, when consumers hear from Diabetes Australia, They see that as coming from an organisation that speaks with authority, that it's diabetes to diabetes. It adds trust to the process from the optometrist. So often, you know, people may be getting messages, information from the eye sector, from optometrists, but this adds trust to that process. So we'll utilise the NDSS register, and I should say that this has been a long-standing call from the diabetes sector, and you know, people like Paul Zimmet, Professor Paul Zimmet and others for a long, long time have been saying the National Diabetes Services Scheme database is a national asset and we should be using it more as a health registry and doing things with it rather than just an administrative database. And this is the first program where we've finally got that imprimatur from government. That's an amazing point in time, really, because the NDSS has been building as a database for over 30 years, but now to start seeing the NDSS as a much more active tool in improving the health of people with diabetes through programs like this. There'll be opportunity for us to target different audience segments at different times: type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, newly diagnosed, people who have had diabetes for more than 10 years, younger people, older people, metro, rural, you know, the opportunities there to target messages at different points in time. And of course link that targeted messaging to the local service delivery framework that's important, and that's where partnering with Vision 2020 Australia and Optometry Australia and the eye sector. The closing comment is that we have, one of the powerful things here was to point out to the Minister and to government, and we did this over a number of years, that other countries have implemented systematic diabetes eye screening programs in different ways. There's no perfect model here. The UK, Iceland, many other countries, and with great results. And if you look in Australia, diabetes continues to be the leading cause of vision loss and blindness in working age Australians. It shouldn't be so. It's not that way in the United Kingdom anymore because the UK established a diabetes eye screening program over a decade ago. And so that gives us a very clear signal about what's possible here, is to knock diabetes off the perch. It shouldn't be the leading cause of vision loss and blindness in working age Australians. And over the next 10 years, we're looking forward to making that happen.